before I give you your medication, I want to go ahead and give you these documents. This will cover any issues that we're going to go over right now, as well as have more information about your disease state. During the time when I cover these medications, you're welcome to stop me anytime and ask any questions, okay? But if you have any questions about that, you can also contact me via the phone number on the bottle. So the first medication I want to go ahead and cover, the brand name is Trim2. Trim2 has a generic name called Intriciban, and as well as this one. This one is Validity, and the brand name for this one is Tenofovir. So these two are what we called the NRTIs. These medications will cover the virus's ability to infect the immune system cells. Okay. The third drug the brand name is Inestris, and the generic name is Ritonavir. Ritonavir's purpose is to make sure it doesn't spread. So these three drugs combination will make sure that the virus does not infect further your other cells, as well as protects the ones that has already been infected. Does that make sense?
Okay.
Okay, perfect. With that said, I do want to mention that because these three drugs work together, and I know it's a lot of drugs, we really want to make sure that you take them regularly. The reasoning is that the better you are at compliance, the more likely these drugs will have a good chance at doing what it's supposed to do, which is effectiveness. With that said, I do understand life happens, and so whenever you if you do end up missing a dose, go ahead and if you remember it by the end of the day, go ahead and take it. It's better to go ahead and take it than to forget or skip completely. But if it's the next day or a few days after, definitely don't try to take as many as you can. For instance, if you miss one day, don't try and take 2 dosages of any other medication. If you miss 3 days, contact your doctor ASAP, because we need to make sure that these are still active for you, okay? With that said, let's go ahead and go cover dosages. The only medication on here that actually has a different dosage is your last one, the Inestris. This one, you'll be taking 2 tablets twice a day. The rest will be 1 tablet once a day, okay? Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
What questions do you have for me?
No, I was just thinking like how to take it, but you can address that.
Okay. So the best way to take it is by your by oral. So just take the dose in with a glass of water. And if you feel like you're going to forget often, there's always a pill box that you can do where you pick one day, put it all in, and then take that whole day's dosage. With that said, I do want to mention that these medications there's only one medication in here that actually has an interaction with food, and so it requires you to be taken with food. The other 2 does not really matter if you do take it with or without food. And so the middle drug that we talked about, the brand name is Validity. That one requires you to take it with food. The other 2 doesn't really matter. So my best bet is to go ahead and take it all with food. That way you don't have any issues with the middle drug, Validity. Storage-wise, I would like to say that the best way to store this is high, dry, and out of the way. And so a lot of people like to put it in your cabinets in the restroom. Don't do that. It gets really steamy. Put it high, dry, and at room temperature is perfectly fine, away from pets and whatnot. I do want to mention that these drugs do have interactions, so definitely be cautious of what your doctor prescribes, like antibiotics, as well as any herbal medications that you're going to be taking. The last thing I want to mention about these is that I know you're young and you might one day want to have children, but these do have indications for pregnancy, so please consider letting your doctor know before you plan on starting a family, okay? All right. So what questions do you have for me?
Nothing right now.
Okay, perfect. I'll cover some quick issues that you might encounter with these medications. The main one is headache. All 3 has side effects that can cause headaches, and all 3 does decrease your ability to fight off infections. So with these, definitely be cautious when you're going out. If people are coughing, wear a mask so that you are protected, but also to protect yourself from any potential issues that this might cause, okay? GI issue is also something that a lot of patients have complained about, so let your doctors know immediately when you feel any diarrhea, nausea, or vomiting, okay? All right, so I think we've covered everything, and there will be more information on this document. Before I let you go, could you tell me which one out of the medication would you take differently and how?
It was this one, right? Forgot the name, but I remember you pointing to it.
Okay, perfect. Yes, you're right. It is your third medication that we talked about, and the brand name for this one is Ines. The generic name is Retinavir. I understand they're really weird. They're really complicated, but definitely. And how would you be taking this one?
With food?
Okay. Actually, no. The middle one is the one that requires food, but this one you'll be taking 2 tablets twice a day. Okay?
Oh, okay.
Perfect. Okay, so before I go, what questions do you have?
I think you answered everything I thought of.
Okay, perfect. And how are you feeling about this diagnosis?
I mean, it is what it is.
Well, you're taking it really well, which is really great. I commend you for it, and it's great that you are seeking help, which is amazing. I do want to say that please do not let this disease define you. It's more common now than you think, and it doesn't have to be something that defines you as a person, because you are your own person. So definitely, if you ever need help mentally as well as just changing a medication if it's not working, please let us know, because we want to be there for you. And I say we because it's not just me, but you're also your physician and anyone else that you consult health-wise. We are here for you.